Against all odds, Ford got their act together in time for the 1964 race.
The Le Mans 24-hour race at last, and 3 gleaming Ford GTs are present.
But during the race itself, all the cars broke down or caught fire, leaving bitter rivals Ferrari to take another 1, 2, 3 victory. In Detroit, Henry Ford decreed that they would be back next year to take on Ferrari again. And to head up the campaign, he turned to an American motorsport hero.
My name's Carroll Shelby, and performance is my business.
Shelby was a former chicken farmer from Texas who took nitroglycerin pills to keep his heart going. But he'd also racked up countless victories as a driver and team owner. Given the task of turning the GT40 into a winner, he put his top man on the job.
Coming up is Ken Miles, one of the best sport car drivers in America.
Miles was a former Second World War tank commander from Birmingham, the one in England, not Alabama. He was renowned for speaking his mind and developing racing cars. Miles took the car for a shakedown, and he got out and he told Shelby and the Ford executives, "It's bloody awful." Then he got to work, improving the brakes, the engine, the aerodynamics, the handling, and taming the car's terrifying high-speed instability. However, and even though he and his team took amphetamines so that they could stay awake all night, there simply wasn't time to develop the car properly for Le Mans. The GT40 may have been faster, but it was still fragile. At the 1965 race, 6 cars started, none finished, and the Italians humiliated Ford once again. So, untold millions of dollars had been spent since the first GT40 emerged from this building here, and yet not one car had even finished the race. So Ford now faced a difficult choice. He could throw in the towel against Ferrari, or he could fight on. What he actually did was he had some business cards printed, and he distributed them to his Le Mans team. And on the cards it said, "You'd better win." And so, a year later, the American giant returned to Le Mans with its hopes resting on this.
Okay viewers, this is historic race car bucket list moment number 2, because this is an actual GT40 that competed at Le Mans in 1966. If I don't go mad, mate, it's worth 15 million quid. Sod it, let's make some noise! Oh yes!
In this new GT40, Ken Miles had racked up thousands of test hours. Now the car was no longer horribly unstable, but would sit rock steady at 210 miles per hour. And the Brummie tank commander had the backing of Ford's huge R&D department, who tackled the car's appalling reliability.
The brakes no longer went into thermal shock at the end of the long straight. The engine and transmission were run on a computerized test rig that simulated the whole of the 24-hour Le Mans race. Now that's standard practice in Formula One today, but in 1966, that was witchcraft. They weren't mucking about, these blokes.
But neither were the opposition. Over in Italy, in response to the new threat, Ferrari produced this.